All right, Rob, let's move on to the NBA. And, of course, the whole league is mourning the loss of the great Kobe Bryant. No one more, though, than the Los Angeles Lakers. Understandably, that was the franchise he played 20 years for. It's the franchise he's arguably the greatest Laker of all time for. It's the franchise he led to 5 NBA championships. And they're dealing with it, and it's hitting them harder than anyone else. And it's been reported that they had a meeting with the coaches and the players on Tuesday, yesterday, and they just kind of got it out, and everybody was able to share their favorite moments about Kobe Bryant. And I'm sure they cried, they laughed, they, looked back at some of the things he did, things funny, things competitive, the whole 9 yards. And I think that is a good way to deal with it. I will say myself that from hosting First Things First and just being on all the Fox Sports 1 shows on Monday and talking constantly about Kobe for 3 hours on First Things First, that did help me deal with it because you got it all out. You're able to articulate your feelings. And so I think that was very smart and therapeutic for the Lakers. But according to ESPN.com, one of the things to come out about that was that LeBron James kind of, put the franchise on his back and said, God gave me broad shoulders for a reason. And the implication being, I'm going to carry on Kobe's legacy with the Lakers. Now, I want to hear you, Rob. The first thing I want to say, though, is over these past few days since Kobe's passing, it has crossed my mind a few times that the Lakers may take this and use it as motivation to propel them to a championship. Now, obviously, you have to go out there and play, and that sounds all well and good, but at the end of the day, you still have to get it done on the court. We know they got the talent. What I've been wondering is, do they have the dog? Do they have the hunger to match a team that is doggish and hungry like the one right down the hall, the LA Clippers? And I'm wondering, will this, because, Rob, there are certain things that can motivate you beyond the level where you thought you could go. And I'm wondering, not claiming it definitely will, but wondering, will that happen with the LA Lakers? And for a team where you got a LeBron James with 3 titles, you got a Rajon Rondo with 1 title, you got a Danny Green with a few championships. You got guys there that have won. Will this kind of give them that extra edge, hunger, and particularly LeBron James, since he made this statement, that they need to get over the hump and bring a title back to the Lakers?
I'm going to say that I know people love and makes a great storyline, but, Chris, history shows that it doesn't. And I'll give you a couple of examples. Hurricane Katrina and the New Orleans Saints went to Chicago with a chance to go. Remember, this would be great for New Orleans. They could get to the Super Bowl, whatever. They lost to the Bears.
But they did win it a couple years later.
No, but I'm just saying, but the year that it happened. Same thing with the Yankees in 9/11 in the World Series when everybody's rooting for the first time in the history of America.
Right.
Everybody's rooting for the Yankees. You remember that?
Right.
And the Arizona Diamondbacks of all teams.
Great series.
Right, but it was great. Game 7, it was great. But they didn't win the World Series that year. So I hear what you're saying, and it can be.
I'll give you another one. Ali Frazier won.
You know what I
when
mean?
Ali comes back from, being exiled because of his views
so
on
that should have been
Vietnam,
right.
And then he gets beat by
and he got beat. It would have been a great story that he comes back and all that. So I hear your point. I think that it could be a motivating factor, but it just doesn't seem to always work out like that. And I don't know why that is. I remember 9/11, the World Series. I was covering it. It looked like the Yankees was going to win. Mariano Rivera's on the mound. Everything, Chris. Great story, right? One of the greatest stories of all time. Didn't happen.
But there are other examples, Rob, of storybook endings. I mean, you remember 2016 with the Cleveland Cavaliers. If you wrote a movie about a guy leaving his hometown team and then going back and then delivering them a championship, coming back against a 73-win team, down 3-1, never been done in the finals, you wouldn't believe it.
No, I get that as a
Kawhi
storyline.
last year.
Right, but
going to Toronto, he's got 1 year there. and he's out, and he delivers them the
But
first
that's
championship in the
different.
country's history.
I get that, but that's different from we're going to use
A tragedy.
Kobe's tragedy
Okay.
as motivation. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could be highly motivated. The Clippers could just be better than you.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean that they didn't play hard for Kobe or wanted to win for L.A. and they could have all those great intentions, and the Clippers just happen to be better than you in a 7-game series. That's all I'm saying.
No, there's
the motivation part is absolutely true.
I agree. And my take on this whole thing, yeah, as a guy that picked the Lakers to win the championship in the preseason, I'm glad to hear LeBron James say this. But my take is this. I want to see you against the Clippers. I mean, and Rob G and others may think I overstate the Clippers. The Clippers are legit.
And you said that
There's
before
no
the season.
right. Come on, that roster on paper, they're the best roster in the league. And Kawhi Leonard is a mid-range assassin. He's clutch. We've seen it all year. We saw it last year. Lou Williams is doing his thing. Paul George. I mean, that team is a great team. Doc Rivers, the coach. But the Lakers had them beat on Christmas Day and rallied, had them beat early in the first game of the season. Fell behind, but rallied going into the fourth quarter. But both of those fourth quarters, they couldn't deliver. And so I've said in both games, LeBron's not being aggressive enough. So if LeBron is really saying this, I'm going to put the team on my shoulders. I'm going to carry Kobe's legacy on and help lead the Lakers to the championship. That's the game I'm pointing to.
But if he doesn't get there, I'm just saying.
No, it doesn't mean he didn't try his
all
best.
right, that's
course.
and that was my point.
Oh,
you could try and want to do that. I don't know if that's added pressure. You're putting that on yourself. That's not. You don't have to say that, Chris. And you know what? If you do win, you could. Then that's the greatest story to tell people after the fact. You know what I mean?
LeBron told us.
You
2
know what
days, 3 days
yes,
after
the thing, and you say. LeBron was that. He said, I'm going to carry Kobe's legacy. I want to do this for Kobe. He meant so much to us, to Los Angeles, to the Lakers organization, whatever. And you go, that's great. He was highly motivated by the loss of Kobe. Putting it out there now, and I'm not saying he put it out there, but when you say it in front of other people, Chris, you know this today, it's getting out. Ain't no secrets anymore.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Rob, because if you look back at some of the – it may have been a documentary done by Uninterrupted, LeBron's company with Maverick Carter, where they were talking about the 2016 run to the championship for Cleveland, and it came out in the documentary that when they were down 3-1, and maybe even before that, LeBron kept saying, we're good. We're good. We got them where we want them. Like that came out, and like you said, that's great after the fact. Wow. He showed that type of confidence. But this way, if you don't get it done, this quote will come back to haunt you, just like you always use the quote about, I'm in playoff mode. I'm activated.
You remember that?
Right. And it didn't work.
And it didn't work. And then they lost to
last year.
The
Memphis,
Suns
Atlanta,
and Memphis, right,
Phoenix.
and Atlanta. And you go, what? What were you saying?
Right.
Why did you even have to say that? We know you want to win. We know you want to get your team. You don't have to announce that.
Right.
You should just go ahead and do it, and it backfired.
Yeah, it's interesting. But I'll say this, Rob, though. The Lakers have the talent. Now, granted, the Clippers certainly 1-10 have more talent. But I think the Lakers have enough talent. And everybody talks about they need a playmaker. Look, no team is perfect. The Clippers are looking for shooting.
Right.
They're one of the bottom teams in terms of three-point shooting percentage. They need size. They got Ivica Zubac is their big man. So they could use another big. No team is perfect. Milwaukee's got one superstar. They'd love to add another superstar with Giannis. So every team's got its flaws. But I do think the Lakers, if they play with that drive, they play with that dog, and this is what I would say to you Lakers. Get Anthony Davis used to being the go-to guy in the fourth quarter. He's not getting the rock enough in the fourth. Skip Bayless is giving the numbers. LeBron takes far more shots in the fourth than AD does. And obviously LeBron's worthy of shooting the ball in the fourth.
But you're going to need AD.
Against the Clippers,
yes, you're going to need
he's the
him.
matchup. LeBron's gonna get his points against the Clippers, but he's not gonna abuse Kawhi and Paul George.
Right.
But AD should be able to abuse Harrell or Zubac or whoever they put on.
And that's the guy who has to be different and break out and tip the scales so that if LeBron can match Kawhi, you have the advantage because you have AD.
Right.
100%.
Right. So they got to give him the ball. But, I think this is good. Again, right, you make a good point. It might be better if this hadn't come out. But I think it's good that LeBron said this. I would love to see this, motivate him to and not that he hasn't been motivated. But, there are a lot of times, Rob, where we feel like we're motivated 100%. But sometimes, whether it's adrenaline, whether it's a tragedy, whatever it might be, whether it's just the moment is there and you got to deliver. But sometimes there's something that can take you beyond where you normally would have gone. And, you make good points about past tragedies not doing that. But if you're a Laker fan, this would be great for the Lakers. Talk about a year. Kobe Bryant's life obviously is worth way more than a championship.
But it would
have helped the city heal more.
No doubt about it, Chris. And the people of LA and what's going on with the basketball and to lose Kobe and then do you know what the tears would be if they won a championship and they could hold that trophy up to the heavens for Kobe Bryant and what it would be.
It'd be a great
you talk
story.
About a story like the LeBron championship in Cleveland.
Right.
It would be of that magnitude, even
that's
bigger.
A great point.
It would be a great story.
And it would be great for LeBron's legacy because then you're talking about having two just iconic championships, don't you? The Cleveland one is first championship in 52 years of any kind for the city.
And then
this one, Kobe Bryant, you're making good on your promise to deliver for Kobe. It would be storybook.
Because after he won the one in Cleveland, that's when I knew he was the GOAT. That's the one. LeBron told me that.
That's been said somewhere.
Right.
What's happening, y'all? It's Chris Broussard.
I'm Rob Parker.
And we are
The Odd Couple. Check us out as often as you can on YouTube.
And always remember, I'm Oscar and he's Felix.
Oh, man. Are you serious?